Good morning, everyone. We'll get the meeting underway here at 8:30. Call the meeting to order. 1.1, the agenda. Additions to the agenda. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Chair. We have, administration has 3 additions to the closed session. So 11.2, Intergovernmental Relations, Section 26, 11.3, Third-Party Business, Section 19, and 11.4, Third-Party Business, ATIA-Section 19.
Okay. Any other additions? Councillor Cunningham?
I will add under Council Committee Reports Division 5 update, and also wondering if we can add in closed session ATI Section 20 disclosure harmful to personal privacy.
11.5 on the closed session. Okay. And what was your, where was your?
Council and Committee Reports?
Yeah. 9.2.
Thank you.
Any others? All in favor? Carried. Adoption of the agenda. Everybody, we're good with that? Minutes. 2.2, regular council minutes. Any errors or omissions or anything that you'd like to discuss on that one? Councillor Cunningham? Nope. Councillor Penner?
I'd move that council approve the adoption of the minutes of the March 24th, 2026 regular meeting of council as presented.
Any concerns? All in favor? Carried. Okay, no appointments, infrastructure, roads, water, wastewater, environment, transportation, update, 4.1. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Council. Is there anything specific the Council would like to hear about through the past 2 bi-weekly updates there, or would we just like to do a high-level overview?
Yeah, I got a question on that update that you sent out.
Yes.
To do with the Three Hills stockpiling, you hired trucks and you worked overtime. What's the reason that we had to get that stockpile site, or what was so important that that stockpile site had to get done that way?
Yeah, through the chair. So kind of started off last year. We ended up re-graveling about an extra 100 miles of road. We didn't anticipate restockpiling Redland or Granger this year. We were hoping to have that contract out and ready to go for the 2026 re-graveling season. That didn't end up happening, so that contract will be fulfilled for that gravel purchase for the 2020. The contract purchase will happen in 26. That gravel will be there for the 27 reapplication. So we ended up happening to hit 2 sites that we did not anticipate. Also, along with that, inclement weather days, we do shut down once it's minus 28, bad road conditions if it's not safe to have the trucks out there. Also, we are running short-staffed in the aspect of we have some vacancies and some people on leave that are medical leave, so we just needed some backup and to get that wrapped up so that we can start our re-graveling program on time and make sure those roads are re-graveled. So,
one of the concerns I had, that's okay, you know, thanks for that info on the stockpile sites that you have to address through that pile there. But I mean, as far as spending money and you know, working overtime and hiring extra trucks, if that was just to fill the stockpile site, I wouldn't be in favor of that because that's just not good business. We've hauled out of the Torrington pit to gravel roads for 40 years. You know, like for a week and a half, if you're behind, that's not a big deal. But I mean, good to hear that you know you're stockpiling your sites for the other ones. Thanks.
So through the chair there, so those trucks were hired for 3 days. So we had four trucks hired on for 3 days is how long they were working for us there. So as soon as we caught up to our numbers, they were let go. So.
Any other questions on that report? You want to, are you just going to go through it, or what was your plan?
My plan is whatever council would like to hear, but I can also do a high-level overview of capital projects. I know a hot project right now is 251 culverts, so we may as well have an update on those. So virtually with those projects, they have a conditional completion is what it's called. So it's too wet to actually finish all that topsoil reclamation. So the pipes are installed, that work is done, the in-stream work is completed. The work they have left is to reclaim the sites, clean them up 100% to our satisfaction, along with refencing those sites properly. So last week I met with them, and thank you for ratepayers that were concerned or seeing some activities that weren't going on that they weren't happy with. Obviously, we don't want any of damage to our infrastructure, so that was passed along immediately and put to a halt, and the contractors were made aware that any damages were going to be their responsibility at that time. So virtually at this point, we have the deficiency list for those two projects, which include all that. So from there, engineers will take that, they'll do a cost estimate of what they think it is, double it. We hold that money back so that they cannot get paid for any of the work that's not completed. They have till May 15th to come back and complete the work. If not, we use those funds to either finish it internally or hire someone to finish it. Along with that, we have our 10% holdback, and then warranty does not start until those projects are 100% wrapped up and they have the full completion certificate.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, just one question on that. Yeah, so I wasn't able to get out there right away, but was there cleats on that unit, and how much damage was there done?
Through the chair, there was no cleats. It was street pads, thankfully. Still not acceptable. The equipment they had tires there to have it on the pavement if needed. They should have been using them. So there was no damage that we could tell from that machine being on that pavement. We did a pretty thorough walkthrough and inspection of it.
So they did realize, though, that they probably shouldn't have done that, and is there something that we can make sure that won't happen again?
Yeah, the contractor owned that they shouldn't have been doing that, through the chair, sorry. To make sure it doesn't happen again, it's written in the contract, pre-construction meetings is when those things can go over, and I can go through the chain of command and reiterate that this is a very high concern of us if we're working around a paved road, that we're not damaging our infrastructure further. At the end of the day, we do pre-construction meetings, on-site meetings, we look at all the infrastructure, see, and then afterwards we will do a walkthrough. So if there's any anomaly, any extra damage that may have occurred, that can definitely be a part of that.
So again, this project is just waiting for final cleanup and stuff, because I'm getting sick and tired of this project. Like, I'd like to see this go away.
Through the chair, I have the same feelings. So we will get it wrapped up here. May 15th is their closeout date, and then if virtually that's the only answer I have for now is they will be 100% wrapped up by May 15th. If not, Kneehill County will be completing it or using funds to complete it that are penalized. So.
Just a further comment on that, we'll be looking at all these capital projects on road committee. That's what's basically on road committee.
So another capital project that's going on is our 2025 carry forward rural road construction. So we had 3 sites that were identified as problem areas that we've had contractors out working on. 2 of the 3 sites are completed. So their final site is a bridge file replacement on Range Road 255 south of 582 there, that those contractors are firing up today to get that changed out. They anticipate about a week and they'll be in and out. So that project would be wrapped up. Linden overlay project, we got our approximate timeline. They're hoping to start by June 1st to begin that overlay and all the work on that. So that'll be good. There's a 30-day, they plan to have it done by the end of June is for that overlay, and that includes all overlay and prep work. So, yeah, other than that, we've had the last few weeks have been some lovely weather for operations between spring thaw and then snow the 2 days later. So been fighting with either frozen culverts or culverts just plugged with snow, roads that just can't handle the amount of flow that we had, freezing and thawing of gravel roads, lots of traffic on them. So some of the roads aren't in the best of shape right now. Our graders are getting the wings removed this week, and we anticipate that they should be starting their first rotation on Monday here. While those graders aren't being operated or out on the roads blading, those operators have been stockpiling gravel. Currently, there's a crew of them down at the Sharples Bridge, redecking that bridge deck that needed some love and attention. So that will be wrapped up this week, and then majority that we have a few graders out hitting hot spots right now. Yeah, brushing's pretty much wrapped up for the year. All the major projects, we are currently on Rock Hill doing a little bit, just some attention there. And then most of those projects will either continue next year, next winter, or after the bird migration law window is closed. So that kicks into effect on April 22nd. So that kind of holds us off for doing any brushing without doing wildlife sweeps and whatnot. So equipment, we hauled a bunch of miscellaneous stuff from the Wilson building there to the auction this week, or last week, sorry. So there'll be another round of that stuff leaving the sites. So that's just a side project as we get a guy that has a half a day or whatever, they load it up on a trailer and take it down. So not a top priority to get rid of that stuff at this moment. So for gravel, going back to that, so Three Hills is completed now. As of April 12th, we were at 28,000 of 30. So we are completed there now, and getting ready to, we're putting a few thousand, we moved to Barrett to put a few thousand there just to help out with that gravel in that east area there from Granger, just because we don't have 100% enough material there to fill that area. So we're just gonna move to Barrett, put some material there, and that will feed east of Barrett. Other than that, the gravel crew should be swapping over and start re-graveling next week as well. And right after that, we'll jump into a dust control program. I don't have the exact number of applicants we've had so far, but that is open and able to be applied for. And virtually what that will entail is as soon as the applications are closed and everyone's paid up, gravel crew will go around and re-gravel those sites, followed by the spray truck and grader doing the applications. So.
Councillor Woodstock.
Thanks, Mr. Conkin. I got a question about the road stabilization. Is that still going ahead on 26-0?
Through the chair, that is correct. We don't have a timeline of it, so there's 8 miles that were put forward with that capital project. So 26-0 from 575, 4 miles north, along with 24-1 from 583 to 582. So that project is base stabilization. Really, it's the top 6 inches of crust. I can't remember the company off the top of my head, sorry, but virtually bring in a big mixed milling machine, and they will drop that drum 6 inches in while injecting MG30. And what happens then is we'll blade and pack behind that unit. We water the road in front to ensure the moisture content's correct. And then once that's done, that we will re-gravel that road. So it's just to get that good solid crust in there and try to help control some of that washboard. And then it should, they anticipate completing about a kilometer, 1.3 kilometers a day type of thing. So it'll be about a 2-week process of getting that project completed, start to finish, so.
Okay, so that road stabilization is not like a dust control then?
Through the chair, it's same product, could be used for dust control. So virtually it's just different application style. We're injecting it into the top 6 inches of the road versus
and then you're
surface.
graveling after.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
On
Councillor
that,
Anderson.
on that redecking of the bridge at Sharples, how long is that anticipated to take?
Through the chair, we have the road anticipated to be closed till Friday. Hopefully we have it done beforehand. The deck was fully stripped yesterday and was about a third laid out, relayed out. So in that, the guys should be able to have most of it laid out today and then start nailing down, so.
The reason I was asking was some of the farmers are wondering whether they'd have access to the lower crossing, but I don't think if the timeline that you're looking at, it's not going to be a problem.
Correct, and the low-level crossing is open. We only have the bridge itself closed. We checked the water levels. It's about a foot, so pickups can make it through. A small car, obviously it's not going to, but anyone that uses that low-level crossing definitely could still utilize it, so.
Thank you.
Councillor Olson?
Just one question too, like, I know you guys are out and about and looking around, but there's obviously some soft spots in areas. So do you guys have a list of places that, I'll give you one for instance, like by Chuck Perry's there where the trucks are going to that battery north of his place there that gets beat up all the time. And then if we do have, what are we doing to remediate some of those soft spots? Like what is the protocol there?
Through the chairs. So this time of year is kind of tough. Frost and thaw coming out, those soft spots are going to show up. We try to, depending on the severity, obviously greater blade it, see if that helps tighten it up. If not, we can add material. Worst case scenario in the past, we have gone and dug out these soft spots. So we would put a first call in, take them down 3 feet, put a geotextile cloth in there, and then build it up and pack it. And that is our worst case scenario if these soft spots don't disappear after the spring. But your specific site there, I will have to check with our oil field inspector there, but that is that battery maintains that road due to the amount of traffic on it. Like, they have a road use for hauling on there, I believe, and I will confirm that with them and have them inspect that and just make sure that it's not further deteriorating.
Yeah, it just keeps getting beat out there. I know it's a bad time of year, but yeah, it seems like we might need some extra material or some bigger rock in there.
Councillor Cunningham?
Yeah, and I think I've had conversations about that area too, and I think there is a road use agreement there, so a lot of that would fall to the company in charge of that. So I just wanted to say too, Mr. Conkin was able to attend my ratepayer meeting a couple weeks ago. He was grilled very well by our ratepayers of Kneehill County, and they really appreciated the fact that he was there. Lots of exchange of information. Some concerns came up, but also some really good positive comments as well. So no slight to Ms. Vanderkool or Ms. Cochran or myself, but he was definitely the most popular person in the room. So again, just thank you for being there. And I think people just really appreciated the exchange that could happen. So yeah, appreciate it.
Any other questions or concerns? So just for information, Mike, we'll be going on for road committee, 27th maybe, or 23rd or 4th. We'll let you know. Well, we'll give you a list, but all the projects we're going to have a look at. That's for sure. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Council.
Councillor Cunningham.
So just a question on the roads committee. So then if we have concerns, and especially those roads that we hear like consistently about, do you just want us to forward that information to the road committee, or how do we want that handled?
By all means,
Yeah,
like
okay.
just forward it to us, and we'll like what we'll end up doing is being this is the first one.
Yep.
We get a list, right? And then once you get a full list, then we go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And it's a road committee on everything, not just roads. If you got something else to check out, like in a town or a hamlet or whatever, yeah. Okay. Let's get on to 5.2, Horseshoe Canyon Area Structure Plan.
Good morning, Council. In December of 2024, Kneehill County Council approved a $160,000 budget for an area structure plan to be created for the Horseshoe Canyon and surrounding area. The budget consists of consultant services, studies, and engagement costs to complete the project. An ASP is a detailed planning document that guides the further development of a specific area within a municipality. It outlines things like land use, roads, parks, utilities, and overall growth patterns. Essentially, it sets the framework for how the area will develop in an organized and an efficient way. The ASP would further achieve the priorities in the area by increasing the available land supply to attract further development opportunities to the county. In March of 2025, the Economic Development Department received confirmation of a grant from the Northern Region Economic Development Program, where they were awarded $85,700 in support of the initiative. An RFP was posted for third-party planning consultant teams to apply to create the area structure plan. On December 1st, 2025, procurement was asked to cancel the RFP for bidders to let them know we are postponing the project until we receive further direction from council. So administration is looking for direction regarding the ASP at Horseshoe. If the project is not to go through at this time, the NRED grant money must be paid back within 90 days of the end of the term, which is June of 2028, or termination of the agreement, whichever is earlier. So your options today are to go forward with the area structure plan at Horseshoe Canyon and utilize the NRED grant, or the other option is to park the area structure plan project until further notice and return the NRED grant funds. And my recommendation to you today is that council postpone the area structure plan project. This approach allows council to focus on other priorities while gradually preparing to understand the benefits of tourism and the economic opportunities that strategic development can bring to the municipality.
Well, my comment would be is send the grant money back. There's only one taxpayer. As far as I'm concerned, the project will not go forward.
I also support that position, and the people have said before, we don't want it, we don't need it, let's just be done with it.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, even though it's a grant, I mean, we're still paying a portion of this, so I think at this time, we just, we need to reevaluate the whole thing, and so, yeah, sending the money back is probably a good thing.
Councillor Hoppins?
Are we able to reallocate that grant if we put in an application to, and I'm just hypothetically thinking if we have another project we want to do, can we move that grant, or is it specific to Horseshoe Canyon ASP?
Through the chair, when we applied, it was specific to that ASP. Yeah, if there was other projects around that area, perhaps you can amend the grant, but it has to be for that specific area, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It would be my opinion that sending the money back would be the most beneficial in my mind. I don't like dragging things out, and I would hate to drag it out, send it back in 2028, and then have the government say, well, you held that money for 3 years, you don't get any more in the future. So it would be my opinion to send it back.
Councillor Woodstock?
Thanks, Ms. Kester. My question is have we had any private enterprise looking to develop anything at Horseshoe Canyon?
Through the chair, not to my knowledge, for quite some time. I believe my previous supervisor had an inquiry late last spring, but it's been quiet as to my knowledge.
Yeah, because ultimately there won't be any development there until we do an area structure plan.
That's right. Yeah, most require that to go through with their projects, so yeah.
Because I'm not advocating that we do anything there, but in my view, if somebody wanted, a private enterprise wanted to do something there, if we turn this grant down and cancel the project, there won't be anything happening there. So it's really unfortunate because I know there's only one taxpayer, but if we get a grant, it would be nice to use it. But I guess it'll be a council decision.
Councillor Olson.
Yeah, I wish we could have gone, you know, and done a more detailed assessment of things as council on this area. But, yeah, I mean, not saying that that would change anything, but it's just, yeah, we have to make these kind of decisions, and we haven't done a detailed, you know, look at things. I guess I hate that kind of situation we always get thrown into here.
Councillor Cunningham.
So a couple of thoughts on this from me. I know there was a lot of discussion last term about the timing of the area structure plan. This is just my opinion. When you look at the logistics of what an area structure plan is, I think the structure plan should have been done at the beginning. To me, we're kind of going backwards, but that's just my opinion. It's like, to me, it's like building a house without a plan. And I think that should have been done right off the hop. We've got to, if you can't sleep at night, we've got a very detailed Horseshoe Canyon master plan. I can't remember the exact money. I know I'm sure it was over $100,000 that we spent on that. We also had a Horseshoe Canyon Interpretive Center concept design and feasibility study that I know we spent a lot of money on. To me, it was backwards. I think we should have done the area structure plan first, but that's just my opinion. So unless, you know, if we have a developer that comes and is knocking the door down and wanting to build something down there, I think then we revisit it. But right now with the economic times that we're in, I can't imagine that, but stranger things have happened. But if you look at our website, there is like an area structure plan for Badland Motorsports. So that's why I was always curious why there wasn't something done. I guess there wasn't a detailed project, but again, just my opinion that this should have been done a long time ago. And I know at the end of last term, there was some discussion about that. I have some notes from August 26 of 2025, and I think even at that time, it was anticipated that ASP would take about a year. So, I mean, it's, yeah, still a long time out. So, as Councillor Olson mentioned, there would still be a cost to it, right? So, I just think at this time, we park it for now.
Mm.
Any other discussion? Oh, sorry.
Through the chair, I just wanted to comment that these grants do come up every year as well. So if priorities change in the next couple of years, we could apply again. But as for this time, when I'm doing my reporting on the grant and we're sitting parking it, I would just rather have a decision today, and then we can revisit something in a few years after priorities have been looked at.
Councillor Cunningham.
If there's no further comments, I'll make the motion that we park the area structure plan until further notice and return the NRED grant funds.
Any concerns or comments on that? All in favor? Carried? Oh, pardon me, opposed? Carried. .1, Ratepayer Newsletter. Yeah, do you want to move on? We can go to another one.
7.1, sure.
7.1, Kneehill Grant Committee Program. Okay. Okay, let's go back to 6.1. Morning.
Good morning, Council. So I'm here this morning just to get some direction on the future of our ratepayer newsletters. So just to begin, according to legislation, there are no requirements to produce a ratepayer newsletter. Just the public notices must continue in the Three Hills Capital and our website. So traditionally, we have produced a printed ratepayer newsletter 4 times per year, which is mailed to all of our registered ratepayers. Each edition is approximately 12 pages, and it's mailed to about 2,400. The average cost per edition is $7,300, including printing and mailing, and the annual cost of that is $29,200, or $12 per ratepayer per year. So the role of our ratepayer newsletter, it functions as the county's universal direct delivery communication channel. Unlike digital platforms or social media, it does not require residents to subscribe, follow, or actively seek information. And I have just some suggestions here for cost reduction if we wanted to move forward with that. So option A, we can reduce 1 newsletter edition, so take it from 4 to 3 per year. This maintains our physical delivery to ratepayers, and we would save approximately $7,000 a year. Option B is to reduce the page count. So right now it's about 12 pages, and we could take that down to 8. Again, this maintains delivery to all ratepayers, and we would save approximately $6,000 per year. Option C, this is kind of a general gradual rollout. So we could continue with the printed newsletters, but we could also allow our residents and ratepayers to opt into a digital delivery. And then as we go forward, the more signups we get, the less printing we do. It would depend on how many sign up, but we could possibly get $5,700 to $8,600 in savings if we have a 20 to 30% opt-in rate. So there are some risks to consider when reducing our printed communications. We do have many seniors in the county. We have rural residents with limited internet access, and we do have non-resident ratepayers, so they have land in the county, but they live outside of it, who also rely on that information. So just to reiterate, a ratepayer newsletter costs $29,200 annually. Potential savings, and again, these are suggestions. We are open to whatever council wishes, but we can reduce 1 edition for $7,000, reduce the page count for 6, or do the digital opt-in delivery, which will depend on participation. So yeah, I'm here if you have any further questions or.
Okay, if I remember right, I had a motion on this, and I took it off the table until after we put the, did the strategic plan. And I think I was talking about the motion of discarding this and also the podcast. But if we're gonna bring this back now, I mean, I'm gathering the strategic plan is basically done, okay? So my thoughts, I haven't changed my mind on this. I don't think we need it. I think it's a lot of money for, we're already paying the Three Hills Capital for the same stuff going in it. I have ratepayers that don't want it, and I also have ratepayers that don't want the podcast. That was my motion, I believe, if I remember right, before I had to pull it back. So, that being said, I'll leave it like that, and if you guys want me to put my motion back up, I will, or we can have some discussion first, and then I can make the motion, or, being it was the only first motion I ever made. Councillor Anderson?
I have one question on that. When you started your speech, that we are obligated for the Three Hills Capital, right? Mm-hmm. Are you responsible for that?
Yes.
Do you realize that a good percentage of your people are not receiving the Three Hills Capital?
Yeah.
And what steps are we making to correct that?
Through the chair, that is an issue. The Three Hills Capital changed the way that they mail their papers in about 2020, I want to say. Before, we used to actually pay for a subscription for everybody. It was like $1 a person. And then they changed the paper to everyone receives it for free. It's like a flyer. However, they only send them to mailboxes within Kneehill County. So the unfortunate part with that is that a lot of people get their mail outside the county, but they live in the county. So they're not receiving it that way. For a little while, we did take it upon ourselves to, whoever wanted it, we would get capitals and we would bring them here and we would mail them out. It turned into quite a production, and in the end, we kind of stopped doing that because we're not in the newspaper business, right? But it is unfortunate that did happen to those residents. However, it is available online as well. the
That's the
capital.
point, though, that most of these people that want the capital are not really wanting to use the online part. There's a simple solution to it. Every time we go to the Drumheller paper, I see there's a stand for papers. If it's an obligation to give it to them, why can't we have a delivery to both your area and ours that are suffering? They can pick it up on their own. It doesn't have to be a big cost. You know, he might have to put a few extra copies because there will be people that take it because it's free. But at least you're addressing one of our requirements to have that paper available. It's not available to them now.
Right. Oh, go ahead.
Hi, through the reef, I think there's, we are obligated to advertise in the Three Hills paper, but we're not obligated to deliver it to all of our residents. If the residents want the paper, it's up to them to access it. So keeping in mind that the Three Hills paper isn't owned by us, we can't control them. So if we were gonna change the delivery to bring it to Drumheller and to the areas not currently serviced, that's on us. So we would be needing to add budget for that. So maybe we could table that Three Hills Capital and come back to the newsletter where we need to consider whether or not we're gonna still mail our own current information. So we currently mail this to everyone, so they get the data. If we don't mail it to them anymore, then they're required to get it on their own. So that's a discussion for you to make that decision. The Three Hills Capital, we're trying our best, but we don't own it and we don't regulate it, we don't direct them.
Councillor Olson?
It was my assumption, though, that we were paying for the capital for our ratepayers. That's not correct? Okay. I guess while I'm talking, I will like to say that, yes, I think for our seniors, some of them do like the newsletter. They're not gonna go online anytime. Some of them don't even have computers. But I don't like the cost of this. This is one that I get from another county up north, and it's just basically a single page, but it just folds. They are kind of one of our peer counties, I guess, same kind of population. They have a little bit more, but yeah, I'd like to see it reduced. But I think it's good to keep in contact with our residents, but not at this cost. So, yeah, I don't know what we can do, but I'm in favor of it if we can reduce the cost.
Through the chair, if I could just make a suggestion, if there is an amount that you're comfortable spending on the newsletter, then I can go back and look at some options for delivery. I mean, we could even move to monthly, just like a one-pager. You know, there's lots of options that we could look at if you kind of give me some direction on how much you'd like to spend.
Councillor Hopkins?
Excuse me. I guess for myself, I do find the cost quite a bit, but at the same time, I know there's members in the community that own land that live outside, and they always say, how come I don't get the capital anymore? And well, just like you explained, I feel it's our due diligence to keep our landowners, ratepayers informed as to what's going on. I know one of the hot topics right now is the strychnine issue. Everybody's wondering, how do we sign up? How do we get it? This would be one of those ways that we could communicate that to them. I notice our neighbors to the west, Mountain View County, had a one-page front and back, out it went. I don't know if they do that monthly. I just saw the first one here the other day and thought, hey, this may be something that's a little less costly, yet still effective. There was no pictures. It was just a one-page full read. That may be something we can look at. And from talking to a couple of members over there, it's either digital or mail out.
Right,
So again, if we can reduce the cost, same thing, I'd be in favor of it.
Okay.
I don't know what that cost is, though.
Right.
Councillor Anderson?
I guess I'd be more in favor of the newsletter if we had a comparison of what it would cost to get this paper, the newspaper that's been accepted, that people are requesting, the cost of getting that to them compared to a newsletter. Because, I mean, the newsletter doesn't cover any of the development permits, doesn't cover any of these other things that these people do not get because we're not going to pay for it. And I think pursuing a once-a-month newsletter at a cost of whatever it cost, I'd like to compare the cost of getting the paper to the people.
Through the chair, I do believe that the capital is available for free in certain areas. Like, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm certain they do drop them off in Drumheller somewhere. Possibly the post office? No? Okay, so which areas specifically are not receiving it?
Anywhere down by Sharples or anybody that gets their newspaper, their mail in their cannot get it anymore.
Okay.
That area, all those people down there, they used to get it, they don't get it.
Mhm.
And they requested it many times.
Right.
It's a format they like.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And same with landowners that get their mail in Elnora, but have land in Kneehill County.
Right, okay.
They still like to know what's going on, you know, so same thing. Elnora,
Elnora and then that way, yeah, okay.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, so I guess you're looking for, you know, ballpark or whatever. For me, I'd like to see maybe what options there might be for something that would be at least half this cost. So I don't know if we want to revisit it later and let you work on a number. I don't know what the other councilors' numbers, you know, if they're even in favor of it, but I'd be in favor of doing something like that and coming back and seeing what we have.
CEO Cochran?
Thank you. Through the reef to council, I wonder if council would be amiable to reducing the newsletter by one per year and allowing us to get some interest around online sign up to see how much we could save, because we haven't done that yet. So to cut off all communication around, because keeping in mind the Kneehill County newsletter is all Kneehill County. It doesn't have anything to do with Three Hills or any of the other locations. It's specific to us. It's good information. It's valuable to our residents. I think we could reduce our costs, but I think we need just a smidgen of time. But we also need to get a newsletter out if we're going to do one this year, because it's really prime time to get information out on our agricultural things coming up. So if we could if council will be able to reducing it by one and allowing us to get online and come back in 6 months with another discussion.
Well, I'm not in favor of it. To me, this is a make-work project. It always has been. When I look at it, the stuff that's in this letter is also in the Three Hills Capital. And I'm going back to what I discussed prior, and that was we had our policy is we go through the Three Hills Capital and we go through the website. And this just came along over the years, and it's just evolved, and it just gets bigger and bigger and more costly. To me, this is costly. I've talked to the ratepayers in my area, and especially the seniors, and the seniors want the paper. And so, you know, we can revisit this, but like I said, where I'm coming from is I don't think we should be doing it at all. Councillor Woodstock?
When we put ad in, or when we put our information into the Three Hills Capital, do they charge for those pages?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, through the chair. I think it's just under $600 a week for the full page ad.
But the problem with the Three Hills Capital is that it does not reach all of our residents.
No.
So I don't know whether taking it out of the Three Hills Capital and putting it in a newsletter might be the answer, because then at least we'll know that it hits our residents. Whether they choose to read it or not is up to them. But if it's $600 a week, that's $2,400 a month. Times 12.
Yes, yeah.
Counselor Olson?
Do we have to be putting it in each week? Like, is it something we can do monthly?
Through the chair, it doesn't have to be each week, but it's very difficult to get some information out if it isn't. Sometimes there's a quick turnaround for, say, events that have come up or pertinent information. Sorry.
Counselor Cunningham?
Oh, like public hearings as well, yeah.
Carolyn?
Legislatively, we do have to have an advertising bylaw, and currently our advertising bylaw states that any public hearings or notifications have to be done through our website and through the Three Hills Capitol.
Counselor Cunningham?
Yeah, and I just want to say, like Reeve McCook said, I mean, this was brought up before, and I do appreciate the fact that we've, as a collective, we've decided, we parked it for a little while and wanted to do some investigation, so I really appreciate that. I just want to caution, like, communication is huge for me, for what we do for our ratepayers. We've, as a group, we've decided to go again, to not hold the ratepayer meetings, and so I think to, you know, to take away the newsletters, I just think it sends not a positive message to our ratepayers when we, to me, it seems like we're not wanting to communicate, and I think we're seeing that in other levels of government, and I certainly don't want to see that on a municipal level. We do have a communications policy, and so I think we're guided by that as well. We've got 18.1, and it does say that we employ a variety of ways and means to communicate and provide that in diverse needs, so I think we do have to honor our communications policy, or we have to change that as well. So I'm with you folks. I think if we can, I'm all about saving money. So if there's a way that we can, like you say, reduce the pages, reduce the amount, or like Councillor Olson said, I mean, I love that one that you've received. And maybe if we could do it every 2 months and just make it just one page or whatever and have it, that timely information, like we say when the strychnine information comes out or something comes out that's kind of relevant to that time frame, I'm all for that. So I'm open to other ideas, but I don't want to see it totally taken away. I do talk to some folks, some seniors, and they're not wanting to go online. Some people don't want to access the Capitol online, and so, but certainly ways that we can reduce the cost, I'm all for that all the time. So.
Through the chair, that is one advantage with the newsletter, is that it's kind of an equitable way of getting out our information. Every single person receives it that is a taxpayer in Kneehill County. Content-wise, we definitely can revisit what we put in the newsletter. Personally, I was thinking once council's strategic plan is completed, that we could use the newsletter more to report on that, on your priorities and what we're doing to meet your priorities. More of that kind of way than what we've done in the past.
Counselor Penner?
I guess I'd have to agree with Councillor Cunningham. I know I have ratepayers as well that would be disappointed if they didn't get this pamphlet, this brochure that we put out. So I think in our best interest, it would make sense for us to, you know, give them some leeway, give the administration some leeway to play with this project a little bit, lessen the pages, maybe change the format a little. The harsh reality is the Three Hills Capitol, we don't own it. It's not our job to administer that paper. So this is the thing that we can have the most control of. So I guess I would agree with Councillor Cunningham that I would be in favor of giving the administration some room to experiment with this project.
Counselor Hoppins?
Do we know not the printing, not the time going into it, but just the mailing cost itself? Canada Post cost to us?
Yes. I believe it is about $3,000 a time. 25 to 3,000, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Anderson?
I have to go one more time back to it. Yes, there's information there, and strychnines. But one of the things that we spend a lot of time in this county is development permits and whatever. That's not being covered for anybody that doesn't get the capital. I've heard time and time again, well, you didn't show up in time to protest this. We're not giving the information to the people. How can they show up in time? We have to give them the information. And that this pamphlet's not gonna do it. It isn't, unless you wanna go every week, and then we'll be paying more than we would for the capital.
One of the things that, thanks, one of the things that I can add to this too is I mean, I don't want this newsletter has taken the flavor of basically urban and administrative thinking rather than what council is thinking. The content isn't what we need to see. That's definitely not, and I'm definitely getting that from everybody, and that's why I'm against it also too. But a lot of the people are saying that. I'm with Councillor Anderson. I mean, we talk about costs and cutting costs and everything, but we don't do it. Or let's just go half. My question would be is, so you go half on this. So we're still paying the 3 Hills capital, we're still paying all this, we're still paying that, but yet we haven't got the stuff in that we need for planning. I mean, you can take it back and work on it, but I mean, I think it's got to be, the content's got to be what this council is directing, not what employees and or administration is saying.
Absolutely.
Councillor Cunningham?
So I'm just going back to the previous term, like I know when you had like a template created of the newsletter, it always came to the coffee room or it was, you know, at our stations or whatever, and you asked for feedback. So I hear what you're saying. And so maybe if we continue on with them, maybe we, there's a way that council can maybe have more of an ability to comment on that. Like, I'm not saying we didn't before, but maybe if there's, you know, a topic that comes up, council could bring that forward. So then we're feeling more like it's not just administration's newsletter, it's administration and councils as well. So, I mean, that's something we could think of too, so.
Yes, through the chair, we could definitely change up the process and just have council involved from the beginning, just to make sure that what you want is in that newsletter.
And I keep hearing about the capital, and I'm just wondering, could we have a conversation with the capital, with Mr. Sherlaw, and just say, is there any way that he's able to get the newspaper out to Drumheller post office and to the Elnora post office? I mean, has anybody had that conversation with the capital? I'm just curious.
Through the chair, I know that we discussed it in depth in 2020, and that's why I thought that they did drop newspapers off, but perhaps that's changed, so I can definitely talk with them again.
We could maybe set up a time with him through one of you, through a counselor and or whatever, to discuss this and discuss it here with him. I mean, it's not that way then staff's out of it.
Well, and I'm just wondering, I wish I had a paper in front of me, but like, it would be nice to know if they're not putting it in the Drumheller post office, like are they putting it in a convenience store, and with Elnora, are they putting it in the grocery store there? Like, is there an ability for our ratepayers to access the paper somewhere in those communities? Like, I don't know that, but I would be interested to find that out.
Yeah, absolutely, I can look into that for sure.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, like this county news letter, it doesn't have, you know, I mean, it has ongoing things that are coming up like dust control, which we have, like Hamlet cleanup, you know, they support a fly-in breakfast that county does, and it's just what the county's doing. It's not promoting, it doesn't look like it's promoting stuff that isn't relevant to us, but I would also like to see people get information about what we actually are doing and how we are trying to reduce costs and what we are trying to do for the ratepayer. Focus on that, because that message does not get across to, I know I get asked lots of questions, like what's different about this council, what's different, you know, and I think it'd be great to get that message out there. I mean, not everybody tunes into, you know, these council meetings as well, so yeah, I agree with messaging. I agree we have a disconnect between seniors and the people that are, you know, doing things digitally, but we're gonna have to find, you know, slowly move that way, but I think if we just cut it right off, like, we're leaving our seniors behind in some ways, so.
CEO Cochran.
Thank you. Great discussion, and we'd be happy to move in whatever way you want to give us a motion for. I just have further information about Mountain View County. They do a weekly Mountain View Connect, so they actually publish a newsletter every week. So it's really relevant and important to communicate with our residents, and you're the direction that is provided to us on what you want to see in there. It's your newsletter, essentially. So we'd be happy to change, to adapt, to modify, but I think there's a risk in removing it altogether, because we leave a lot of people out in the cold in terms of our ability to communicate with them on what we're doing. But we'd be happy to entertain a motion and have further discussion.
Councillor Olson.
Yeah, I would like to make the motion then that we, you know, look at different things in cost reduction and come up with some, a different form of what we've been doing, and come back to this. I'd even be in favor if we have to get a newsletter out now to pay for this first one and then come up with a lot better plan from there. But I guess my motion is that we look at cost reduction and table this for, I guess I don't need a motion to table it, correct?
Does that motion work for you on the screen there?
Sure. So then my motion, excuse me for all that ranting, my motion would be council direct administration to return with additional options to reduce costs of the newsletter while maintaining effective communication to ensure all ratepayers are informed of what's excuse me, happening in Kneehill County.
Comments, concerns? Councillor Cunningham.
I don't know if we want to add it to the motion, but could we maybe talk about the communication with the capital too and have information brought back, or whether that's just Ms. Anderson bringing back the information, or whether it's council having that conversation with the capital or Mr. Sherlaw. So I don't know if you want that in the motion, or that's just going to be a...
Yeah, I could add that to the motion.
A different motion?
Sure. I'll let, do you want to make that motion then, Lorley?
Sorry, if I can, just through the chair, I misspoke earlier. The mailing costs are only about $1,800. That was in September, was $1,800. Sorry.
1,800 per
Edition. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
Yep.
And then that, like, that doesn't alter whether, how big it is, whether it's 6 pages or it's 1 page, it's going to be the same mailing cost, do you think?
No, through the chair, if we reduce the pages, it'll weigh less, and then it will be less to mail, definitely.
Any other comments, concerns? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. You were wanting another motion on the Three Hills Capital? Yeah.
Sorry, through the chair, just for clarity, does that mean I should do a newsletter now, or do you want me to completely wait until I bring back options?
Councillor Hoppins?
I assumed that would be, you would create something and bring it to, show it to us as to whether it's a 1 or 2 page or something that we could reduce the cost. I mean, I noticed this one is not as shiny a paper as what we've used in the past, and I assume that costs a little bit more.
Yep, definitely.
So again, if we just use regular paper, that might reduce the cost as well. So that would be my take from that motion is put something together, bring it back to us, maybe, I don't know how long it takes to create a newsletter, but I know we have committee of the whole next week.
Right, yeah.
And then council after that. That's, I guess, the next step, be my opinion.
Yeah, no, perfect, thank you.
Yep, Councillor Cunningham?
So I'll make the motion that council direct administration to invite the Three Hills Capital as a delegation to council to help council understand how the newspaper is distributed.
Discussion or concerns about that motion? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, do we still have discussion on the podcast?
We're not doing them. We're not doing
Okay.
any podcasts.
Okay, good. No.
We'll do an interview with CTV. Okay, 7.2, Trochu, where do you guys want? Let's have a 10-minute break. At 9:31. Okay, everybody here, let's get back to the meeting at 9:45. 7.1, oh, pardon me. Yep, 7.1 Kneehill Grant Program.
Good morning, council. I bring to you today the new grant program policy. Council will recall that Kneehill County has historically supported community initiatives through several different grant and sponsorship policies. Over time, these policies evolved separately to address specific needs. While each policy worked well on its own, collectively, they began to create some challenges. Because of those challenges, administration identified that a review was needed. We found overlapping eligibility requirements, inconsistent application and approval processes, different intake timelines and reporting standards, and some confusion from the public about which program they should apply under. To address this, administration completed a comprehensive review of all existing grant and sponsorship policies. The goal was to improve clarity, consistency, and efficiency, while still respecting council's long-standing intent to support community-driven initiatives. Let's take a look at the overview of the new grant program policy. The proposed grant program consolidates 5 existing grant and sponsorship policies into a single framework, representing a combined annual allocation of $70,000. These included community grants to nonprofit organizations, the Rural Community Hall Capital Grant, the Community Enrichment Support Program, the Rural Resident Connections Grant, and the Youth Event Sponsorship. The new policy simply carries forward the intent of each program, but in a clearer, more coordinated way. What this policy does is create one transparent grant program with a single application process, clear eligibility criteria, and standardized evaluation and reporting requirements. It continues to support community capital projects, rural community hall upgrades, community and event sponsorships, and youth focus initiatives. There we go. The program is organized into 4 funding categories. First, community capital project grants. These support short-term capital projects led by eligible nonprofits or community groups. A minimum 50% matching contribution is required. Projects must be completed within 1 year, and applicants must present their request to council. The second is the Rural Community Hall Capital Grants. These support capital improvements to recognize rural community halls. A minimum 25% matching contribution is required, which is consistent to the previous policy. Third, the community and event sponsorships. These support nonprofit-led community, cultural, recreational, or neighborhood events. Requests of $250 or less may be approved by the CAO. This authority existed under the previous policy and worked very well for short-term requests. For example, if a Legion requests funding support for a Remembrance Day ceremony, administration can process that request quickly without the organization having to wait for a council decision, while still ensuring council receives full reporting of that expenditure. Fourth is the youth-focused initiatives. These support programs or events primarily benefiting youth aged 6 to 18, with funding flowing through eligible organizations rather than individuals. There are 6 key improvements in this policy. One of the first ones is that it introduces one application and review process, with applications accepted year-round. It clearly defines who is eligible and who is not. It standardizes how matching contributions are valued for volunteer labor, donated materials, and equipment. Approval authority is also clearly defined. The CAO may approve community event sponsorships up to $250, and council approval is required for funding over $250. Accountability is strengthened. Final reporting and financial summaries are required. Past reporting must be complete before future funding is considered. And unused or unapproved funding must be returned. The policy also allows for flexibility, with the CAO able to approve reasonable extensions while keeping council informed through regular reporting. What is not changing? While 5 grant policies are being consolidated, several recognition and support programs remain unchanged. These include the 100-year Farm and Ranch Award, Special Occasion and Milestone Recognition, the Kneehill County Scholarship Program, and the Rural Community Hall Operating Grant. There are no new financial or staffing impacts associated with this policy. The total funding remains $70,000 as already approved in the 2026 budget. Funding levels will continue to be set annually by Council through the budget process. Council retains full authority to adjust funding based on priorities and available resources. In summary, this policy improves clarity for applicants, consistency for administration, and transparency for Council. It strengthens governance and accountability while continuing Kneehill County's commitment to supporting community initiatives countywide. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, concerns?
You're making me
Councillor
nervous.
Olson?
Yeah, so all sponsorship would run through this new standard, is that correct?
That's correct, except for the scholarship for, school scholarship. That is on a separate.
Councillor Hoppins?
I like what you've done. It brings everything together, and it's easier when somebody asks me. Because I went looking the other day and I struggled to figure out which one they would qualify, so this is gonna make it easier for me, so thank you. I like it. It looks good. It details everything out that we had before. It's just under one policy, so,
It's going to be much easier for administration too as well.
perfect. Any other questions?
Yeah. Concerns?
I guess, as if,
I'd also like to say too, and we can trial this grant program, and if you do find any problems with it, we can always bring it back and make changes. It's your policy, and you can make changes whenever you want.
Councillor Hoppins?
I guess with that, I will make a motion to approve the new grant program policy 15-11.
Can we also make in the motion to repeal the ones that we consolidated?
Does that need to be two motions, or? can
No,
it all
just
be-
the same motion, so
Okay. And,
just as it's read on the screen.
sure, yeah, and repeal the following policies: 15.3, 15.4, 15.7, 15.8, and 15.10.
Any other comments or concerns on this? Councillor Cunningham?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what Councillor Hoppins said. I mean, it just, yeah, I get lots of calls about, you know, what could I apply for? And this, you've done great work, Ms. Vanderpool. This is clean and simple and just makes it easy for everyone, so thank you.
Any other questions and concerns? We'll get on the motion. All in favor? Carried. Uh, 7.3. Oh, pardon me, 7.2. Trochu Housing Corporation's second annual golf classic.
Thank you, Even Council. Administration has received a request from the Trochu Housing Corporation seeking sponsorship for their second annual golf classic, which is being held at the Trochu Golf Course on Thursday, June 11th, 2026. The Trochu Housing Corporation has identified 5 sponsorship tiers with contribution levels ranging from $500 to $5,000, as outlined in the sponsorship opportunity poster attached to the report. Recognition associated with each sponsorship tier is also detailed in that poster. Council may recall that in 2025, Council approved sponsorship of this event at the gold level in the amount of $2,000. The organization is requesting that County consider participating at the same sponsorship level for the 2026 event. The stated purpose of this event is to raise funds in support of the Trochu Seniors Supportive Living Housing Project, which is anticipated to open on July 1st, 2027. Administration also notes that, separate from this request, the county has previously approved funding in the amount of $300,000 towards this initiative. Council just passed the new grant program policy, and this initiative could be considered under the program category of community and event sponsorship. That concludes administration summary, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Councillor Penner?
So to deal with this request through our new policy, do they have to reapply the housing corporation then, or do they just have to fill out an application at this point? Rather than this request that was made?
It's council's decision on if you just want to deal with it now and approve it through that policy, or if you want to have them reapply.
Well, my opinion is so far we've already given them $300,000. And we're backing a $20 million deal that's going up there. At this time, I'm not prepared to put my taxpayers' dollars forward. If they want to go out and talk to them guys and get them guys to write them a check individually, that's fine. But I don't think we as a council, we've done quite enough here, is the way I see it. Councillor Hopkins?
This was brought forward to myself. I do sit on the Trochu Housing Corporation board as liaison for their Kneehill County. Excuse me. And I know that although this isn't the housing corporation itself, it's the society that's fundraising for the furniture, the stoves, the fridges, the everything that's going in the structure. And yes, we did donate $300,000 towards that initiative. And I believe they're about halfway to their goal, and they're looking to achieve that goal by, well, the sooner the better. Obviously, they are scheduled to open July 1st. I believe they're still on track. And it would be my opinion that I can't remember how much the golf tournament raised last year, but I know they were successful, and it would be my opinion to proceed with this. However, I feel that reducing to a silver membership might work better for us. That's my thoughts.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, I looked at this as well and kind of am agreeing with Reeve McCook on this. We have put a lot of money to this project, so I'm thinking we don't need to participate in this one.
Any other concerns? Any other comments? Councillor Cunningham?
So if we're going through the grant program that we just approved, Ms. Vanderkook, can you just remind me, like you said, it would fall under the community events. What is our dollar figure that we have earmarked for that? Or what I'm getting at is this isn't going to be the only request we have coming forward this year. So I just want to make sure that we're not 30,000. Okay, that's perfect.
Oh, we have, for the whole grant program,
Yeah.
combined is 70,000.
70,000, okay. Yeah, and so my concern just is that we, like's been previously mentioned, 2025, there was actually $302,000 committed to to this project for the furniture. So I just want to make sure that we're not putting all our eggs in one basket and we're leaving money for other entities to be able to come and apply for money as well.
Councillor Olson?
I believe though for the community portion of that, is it not $30,000? If that's what this would be
That's
under?
the old grant was
Oh, that's the old
30,000.
grant.
So we've combined
Oh,
those five
so
together.
sorry,
And the
yes.
total combined funding is 70,000.
Okay, yeah.
Because what we were having the problem with is that one grant program was overpopulated or overdone, and then we'd have to transfer money from one program to another. So now it's just one whole program, we no transfer. of
Sorry,
money.
Caroline,
Yeah.
obviously I was the one having a problem there. Thank you.
This is like a tough one. Like, I mean, I know that it's a great cause. It's always a great cause. But I mean, we only got so deep of pockets, and we've got lots of other people out there. And believe me, some of my ratepayer, like, if they want to give more money, give more money. But I'm not prepared to give our ratepayer dollars any more than what we have here. So, any other, Councillor Penner?
Just a question on how much of the $70,000 is, say, in the last 2 years we've used of our budget. Do we typically use all of that grant money? Are all of that set aside that we have for grants?
That's a great question, Darcy, because some years we have used it all, and then some years we haven't used it all. So it's dependent on the year. So community enrichment, let's just see what we've used. Grant, operating. So in 2025, the community enrichment support program, we had budgeted $6,000. We used $4,930. In 2024, we had $6,000 budgeted and we used $2,922. 2023, we had $10,000 budgeted and we used $8,800. So it's just dependent on the year.
Councillor Cunningham?
Yeah, and I think just to clarify, when they came, it was a delegation that came in 2025 from Trochu seniors, and they requested, I think actually the request was $750,000, and council at that time chose the 300. So it was outside of the grant program per se. It was just more of a one-time special request, correct? Yeah.
I guess the reason I wanted that clarification is that we've set aside a fund to deal with some of these kinds of requests. I guess my opinion would be that I agreed with Deputy Reeve Hoppins that at a silver level, we're still showing some county support for the issue, and we're staying within our budgeted amount. We have those funds set aside for these kinds of projects, and I can understand supporting it at a silver level.
Councillor Olson?
Yeah, I'd be fully in favor of that and supporting even the 2,000 if we hadn't already given 300,000. So, I mean, I think, you know, because we've done that, we can maybe give this grant or this sponsorship money to other areas that we haven't given funds like 300,000 to.
Councillor Hoppins?
I'd like to make a motion that council approve a sponsorship in the amount of $1,000 for a silver sponsorship.
Comments, concerns, questions? Councillor Cunningham?
Yeah, so I just want to clarify that I'll be voting against this motion, and it's not that I'm not in support of this project. I think I've been pretty clear for a number of years that I certainly am. I would just, my thoughts were more the hole-in-one or perhaps a whole prize, just due to the magnitude of money that we have given to them in the last year. So just so that's clear on my feelings on that.
I think we should have a recorded vote. I'll ask for a recorded vote. No comments or concerns? All in favor? Opposed? Motion defeated. Seven point three, Kneehill Housing Corporation Representative.
Me again. All right, so again, good morning, council. Kneehill County currently appoints 2 council members to serve as representatives on the Kneehill Housing Corporation Committee. These appointments support collaboration and communication and ensure county representation on matters related to housing within the region. Oh, I should probably go to the Kneehill Housing Corporation Committee has advised administration that in order to support the committee's ongoing work and maintain effective participation, a change in county representation is being requested. As a result, administration is bringing forward a recommendation for council's consideration to appoint a representative to one of county's positions on the Kneehill Housing Corporation Committee. There are no financial or staffing implications associated with appointing a new representative. Administration will now defer to council for a decision.
We're done there? Okay. We need a new, oh, sorry, Councillor Penner.
As one of the representatives on the Kneehill Housing Corporation, I was at the meeting where the topic came up, and the board feels that it's important that they have two members at as many of the meetings as possible. So that was the only reason this request was
Yeah,
made.
and I did, Mr. Hazelton phoned me.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, by all means. What we need to do then is if somebody's interested in sitting on that position. Oh, Councillor Olson?
Yeah, I was alternate on that, but I wasn't made aware of absentees, so I wasn't, but yeah.
We'll just set another person in there. Yep. Councillor Cunningham?
Yeah, so I'm happy to let my name stand. I did serve on Kneehill Housing last term and enjoyed it immensely, so I am happy to let my name stand if anybody else is interested or not.
Anyone opposed to that? Everyone's okay with that?
Nope, I'm fine, I can make the motion too.
Okay. Well, Councillor Cunningham?
Just one question for council. I also serve as the alternate, which, you know, Mr. Hoppins is usually pretty diligent about being there. So just wondering if council feels that that's a conflict of interest to serve on both, or whether it's, I mean, I'm not the main.
I don't.
Okay, no, just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Everyone okay with Councillor Cunningham sitting on that board?
Yep.
Councillor Penner?
Then I would make the motion that council appoint Councillor Cunningham to the Kneehill Housing Corporation Committee.
Comments or concerns on that? All in favor? Carried. Okay, let's get into the council and committee reports. 9.1, Community Futures Wildrose. Councillor Cunningham.
Perfect, and I'll do 9.1 and 9.2 all rolled together.
Keep it quick, eh?
Yeah, be quick, he says. There's never anything quick about my updates, so. Yeah, so you'll see in the package, Community Futures Wildrose provided a little snapshot of kind of what's been going on and their lending from since 1989, some really good information. Again, I'm trying to encourage people from Kneehill County to take advantage of Community Futures. They're an amazing program. As they always say, they're kind of sometimes looked at as the last resort, but just a great organization. So if you're looking at starting a business, and also the one thing I don't think some people realize is they're also there for existing businesses as well. So I just encourage everybody to bang the drum for Community Futures because they just consistently knock it out of the park, and they're doing great work. So that's that. And if you have any questions about Community Futures, feel free to reach out. Just a quick update from Division 5. I am gone to a conference as soon as we're done here. So I'm going to miss the Acme School grand opening, which is Thursday, April 16th. So I just want to say congratulations to the Village of Acme and to the school and to the parents and the teachers. I've driven by, what an amazing school they have, and that's just so exciting for them. Community Futures actually is holding their AGM in Acme, and we have the opportunity to tour the school. So I'm really excited that we get to, that I get to see that. So again, just congratulations to everybody there. After the April 24th meeting, I know myself and Deputy Reeve Hoppins stopped into the career fair that Kurt Ratzlaff and Kathy Price had come and spoke to us about. So just want to say thank you to Ms. Vanderkool and to Ms. McGinnis for attending that. When we were there, I know there was students all around, and there was, I think, 37 exhibitors. So very well attended, very well represented by businesses, organizations, post-secondary institutions. So again, just kudos to Kathy Price and Kurt Ratzlaff for the work that they continue to do. Like their quote was, the commitment to our youth helps them see the abundant, meaningful career paths right here in Kneehill County. And I think that's something that we're all advocating for too as well, to try to keep our youth here in Kneehill County. So March 30th, I had my ratepayer meeting, and it was very well attended. Normally, I know we have some downtime and there's some quiet times, but we didn't have that this year, so it was really great. We just had a nice steady stream of people. As I mentioned earlier, roads are always kind of the star of the show, and we had some really good chats and conversations. Like I said, a lot of concerns, but a lot of kudos as well to Kneehill County and the staff for the work that they do. A lot of the concerns that came forward were provincial concerns. We heard a lot about water, and I know Councillor Anderson advocates for that. So it was actually a little bit of a learning, I think, too, I had to learn it myself, that there's lots of things that we as a municipality don't control and the province controls. So again, just communicating that with the ratepayers and telling them that they need to get in touch with their MLA and also the province as well. So, yep, so that's it for me. We did have a Trochu housing meeting last night. I think the long and short of it is everything's on time, on budget, and everything's looking really good, and yeah, anticipating that July 1st, 2027 opening. So yeah, so that is it for me.
Good, thanks. Thanks for the information, nice and quick.
No taco salad. Okay. Mexican.
Low Mexican. Okay. Let's go on to 10, council follow-up action list. Everybody had a chance to look at it? I didn't see anything major on there right now. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Accept as. Closed session. ATIA-Section 20. 10:14, let's go into closed session. Councillor Hoppins?
I'll make the motion. Sorry, didn't have my mic on.
Do you want to read them all?
Sure.
Yep.
I'll speak slowly as Carolyn types. That this meeting goes into closed session at 10:14 a.m. for the following reasons: disclosure harmful to personal privacy, ATIA-Section 20, intermunicipal collaboration, ATIA-Section 26, third-party business, ATIA-Section 19, for 2 accounts. All in favor?
Everybody okay with that? All in favor? Carried. We're in closed session.
All right, we're back live.
All right, we're out of camera at 11:57. Ready to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.